Hey, what's up, Forum? It's Ham from the movie Space Chimps, and I'm bringing you guys some Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, a little TDM action. Uh, that didn't come out right. Um, the name of this map escapes me. I have a horrible memory, but I do know there was one area of the map that I wasn't a fan of in terms of like how it was designed. It's like a second floor building that the roof is blown off of it, and there's only two areas that you can access this area or this location. It's the stairwell, and if somebody's camped up there, guaranteed there's going to be at least one claymore in the stairwell. And then there's the rooftop access, at which you climb up onto an AC unit to get up there. The problem with the rooftop access is you're out in the open when you're doing that. You have no cover at all, really. So people can pick you off if they see you coming. And if you got a couple people up there, then they'll cover each area, so it's almost impossible to get up there. It really pays to know how to your grenade spots, to know how to throw them in there, to clear them out if the guys are really dug in there. But yeah, I guess it wasn't a huge problem, but it was kind of a thing that I thought was a little annoying about this map, or at least for TDM, is there's always some camper up there with an assault rifle. And it's a good location. You've got like 3 different major lines of sights that you can see people running. I just didn't think it was a good design philosophy for that level. I'm using the Silence P90. I think I mentioned before that I had never used the P90 for an extended period of time up until that point, so all the gameplay footage I captured from this one session is using that gun. So if you're tired of seeing the gun, sorry, I was having fun using it, so I'll switch it up. I've got a couple other guns in future gameplay for Modern Warfare 2, but I'm not here. I really didn't even mean to talk about the gameplay for that much time. I'm actually here to ask you guys about, or ask you, have you ever met anybody famous or seen anybody famous? And to kind of clarify, I don't mean like in a concert setting or some type of publicity stunt. Stumbling all over my words. I mean, maybe you were walking through an airport terminal or down the street and you happen to see somebody famous. Maybe you were at a book signing, or you were actually introduced to somebody. And I'm not limiting it to actors and actresses and singers and stuff like that. I mean, politicians, maybe comedians, writers, famous authors, anything. And the reason I'm bringing it up, reason I'm talking about it, is I sat down, and honestly, I haven't. I have a bad memory, but I can't think of any situation where I even saw somebody famous outside of, what I mentioned before. And the reason that this topic even came up in the first place is because a friend of mine who came back from med school, or he's back from his first 2 years of med school. He's studying for his step 1s, and he was down in Wilmington, North Carolina, and over the July 4th weekend he was studying for it, and he decided, you know what, I'll take a break. I'm not gonna sit here and study for this test the entire time all the way up. I'm gonna take a break and enjoy at least July 4th. So him, some friends, and some family, or his brother, head down to the boardwalk, and he gets a text message from one of his friends, and she's saying she's partying with Danny McBride, who, if you don't know who he is the star of Eastbound and Down. He was also in movies like Land of the Lost, Pineapple Express. What else? He's going to be in 30 Minutes or Less, which actually looks freaking hilarious. So yeah, I would categorize him as being famous. So he heads to the location where the party's at, and he sees it's a hotel, and on the back of the hotel there's this roped off party, and he's messaging this girl. He's like, "Where are you at?" And she had left. So they're not gonna let them in there. It's roped off private party. So then his brother sees somebody he met from college, or graduated from college with, and they get to talking and reminiscing, and after a little while, his brother's like, "Well, what are you doing out here?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm the hotel manager." He's like, "So what's going on in the back?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that's a cast party for Eastbound and Down. They rented out 2 floors in this building, and they're filming. So yeah, they're here, and that's their cast party." Like, "Well, can you get us into the party?" It's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Just don't freak out. This is only cast members, friends, and family, so don't freak out when you meet all the stars." Like, "Oh yeah, sure, that's awesome." So so he takes him back there. He meets Danny McBride. If you're not fans of the show, you might know who he is, but what's his name? Kenny Powers' friend, or you might even call him a stalker. But Stephen Little was there. And another guy who I don't know if he's going to be in season 3, but his name's Jason Sudeikis. Sudeikis. If you don't know the name, I probably just butchered it, but he's actually the guy in Horrible Bosses. He was in Hall Pass, he was on SNL, he's on 30 Rock. He was there as well, and a bunch of other people. He said he recognized people that were writers and stuff like that. But he said Danny McBride was super awesome, real friendly. He was hoping Will Failor would have been there. That would have been awesome. But yeah, no, he said when he got in there that he was nice, and he said, you guys missed it. I just bought $15,000 worth of fireworks and blew them all out, and there's nobody here, nobody here to watch it. But yeah, he said they were out there for a couple hours and had a great time. So yeah, I can't say I've ever had any cool story like that. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've ever even met somebody famous, let alone had a chance to go to a party with them. It seemed like be a pretty cool story. But let me know in the comments, and like always, take it easy.